Welcome to MRS Bulletin's Materials News Podcast, providing breakthrough news and interviews with researchers on the hot topics in materials research. My name is Sophia Chen. Materials researchers have long used computer simulations of molecules to aid the discovery process. Conventionally, researchers use a quantum mechanical framework known as density functional theory, but it's extremely time-consuming and computationally expensive. In the last 3 years or so, materials researchers have developed AI models that are much faster than the conventional methods. Bowen Dung, a materials research PhD student at the University of California, Berkeley, explains.
People have been replacing the very expensive quantum chemical calculations with these cheap artificial-based calculations.
The point of the simulations is to predict the interaction between atoms in a given molecule. These interactions ultimately give rise to the material's properties, such as its chemical reactions with other molecules and its mechanical responses. Researchers describe the atoms' collective interactions by calculating their energy and forces, where lower energies correspond to the more stable formation of the compound. The current challenge is to make these AI-assisted simulations more reliable. Dung's team studied 3 machine learning models and found that they all tended to predict weaker interactions than what is accurate by about 20%. They described this underprediction as a softening. For example, if you heat a piece of rubber, that heat actually lessens the forces between atoms, literally causing the material to soften.
The interaction between the atoms within the system becomes weaker.
In this case, the models systematically predicted the material to be softer than it actually is. Dung's team realized that these underpredictions were caused by biased training data. In particular, their training data consisted of the output of conventional chemistry calculations, those time-consuming quantum mechanical calculations mentioned earlier. These calculations tended to be simulations of atoms in stable configurations.
A lot of the previous quantum chemical calculations have been focused on the calculation of these stable materials.
Materials that are stable are in their lowest energy configuration. This led the simulations to systematically predict energies to be lower. To remedy the issue, they gave the machine learning models more data. This time, they fed its simulations of materials out of equilibrium. They found that they could reduce the error by 15% by giving the model one additional training example.
Since the errors in these pre-trained models become so systematic, the errors are also becoming easy to solve.
This work shows that it's relatively straightforward to correct systematic errors in these machine learning models. Such conclusions help guide Dung's team within their larger goal of expanding the materials project. This is a large open-source database of materials simulations that anybody can use to aid the materials discovery process. It's hosted by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory.
This project is essentially to expand our database to not only containing these stable materials, but also contains these materials calculations that are out of equilibrium, and therefore providing an improved training data set for these AI models.
This work was published in a recent issue of NPJ Computational Materials. My name is Sophia Chen from the Materials Research Society. For more news, log on to the MRS Bulletin website at mrsbulletin.org and follow us on X at MRS Bulletin. Don't miss the next episode of MRS Bulletin Materials News. Subscribe now. Thank you for listening.